so you're too tired at night, or you can't crawl out of bed in the morning, or your household is a whirlwind of activity all the time. How do you create a quiet time for Bible study? Well, stick around because I'm going to give you 5 easy steps to creating the perfect quiet time for your Bible study routine. So I struggled for years to create a Bible study routine that I could stick to. So I kind of had to reverse engineer it and then, kind of work up to it. So that's what I'm going to share with you today. So hi, my name is Nancy B. Klein, and this is His Ancient Ways, where I share tips for reading and studying the Bible and for Christian journaling so that you can find His good way for your life. Now, before I list the 5 steps, I just want to mention that creating a regular routine is like creating a new habit. There's discipline involved, but there's also kind of a form of muscle memory involved. Now, I made a video on how to create a journaling habit, and so you might want to check that out. I'll post it at the end and also down below because it is helpful to understand how to create habits in general. But today, I'm going to share how to establish a time frame for your Bible study and to stick to it. So the first thing that you want to do is an inventory of your daily activities and your family interactions. So determine when the best opportune time is for you to be interrupted, and then determine the least opportune time is for you to be interrupted. I hope that makes sense. But the goal here is to find the perfect quiet time when you won't be interrupted. But if there is no perfect time, then at least find one that isn't completely doomed to fail on a regular basis. Number 2, assess what your state of mind is like at different times of the day. So maybe at the end of the day, your brain is totally fried, like mine was when I was working 10-hour days on the computer. That might not be a good time for you to try and read or study the Bible. I know it didn't work for me at all. Or maybe at the end of the day, your thinking capacity is okay, but you struggle with unwinding and you make really bad decisions when you're trying to unwind. This might be the perfect time for you to spend time with God. Consider also if your mood tends to go completely off the rails as the day unfolds. If so, then getting into the Word first thing in the morning might help stabilize you for the rest of the day. That, by the way, is what works best for me. Number 3. Pick a time that you can experiment with based on your first 2 personal assessments. So don't make a decision based on what didn't work in the past because you might not have approached it in the right way, to make it stick. For example, I always told myself that I'm not a morning person because I always struggled to wake up in the morning, but mornings are actually my favorite time now to spend time with God and the Word. So, honestly, I just needed to approach it differently than I always had before. So just pick a time and determine to stick with it at least for a few weeks. Now this might be very early in the morning before the family wakes up, or if you have quiet evenings, it could be at the end of the day. Or if you work at home, maybe it's over the lunch hour. Step number 4, backward engineer what you need to do to make this time successful. This is the most important part and it will make or break your success. For instance, if you want to establish a morning routine with God, but you don't get to bed at a decent time and get a good night's sleep, then you either won't get up in time or you'll be too sleepy when you do get up. Or if you want to spend time in the evening with God, but you turn on the TV to watch the evening news first or your favorite show, you might never turn the TV off until it's time to go to bed, and then you've blown your chance. So whatever your choice is, you need to make a plan to ensure it's successful by backward engineering what the time leading up into your study time looks like. Step number 5 is working the muscle. So creating a new habit or routine is kind of like working a muscle. And reading and studying the Bible or spending time in prayer is kind of like working the muscle of your brain and your soul and your spirit. So work up to the amount of time that you want to spend with God. At a minimum, you should at least be spending 15 minutes. That's enough time to maybe read a chapter and pray a little bit, maybe a little bit of journaling. But for meaningful time with God, that compounds, you might want to spend up to an hour, especially if you're doing study time. Now, you don't have to spend an hour to make it fruitful, but the more time you spend with God, the more time you want to spend with God. So that's it. If this video has helped you, would you consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribing? Also, comment down below what works for you, or, maybe if you learned something or learned a new approach for your time with God. I would love to hear from you. And if you like this video, go ahead and check out these over here, and I'll see you over there. Thanks for watching.